Welcome back. Continuing our look at ways to explore the truths of Christianity, we've seen that simply asking questions is an important part of the process. And now to a man who's an expert in that field. It's no surprise that Charles Lewis should be asking questions of a church. He is religion reporter for the National Post and editor of the Holy Post, the paper's religion blog that's attracting attention across North America. But his interest in church is more than just work-related. This is personal. Charles, you weren't born into a religious family, but you began a spiritual search. Why?
Even as a kid, I always had an innate sense of God, that there was something else. I can't really explain it, and it was not something that worried me or concerned me in any great way. I wasn't sort of a young theologian like St. Augustine or something. I just kind of knew that there was something else there.
It was a sense that wouldn't go away. And is surrender to Jesus the scary thing, the fact that your life belongs to Christ, not yourself?
I came to terms with it because after years and years of it, debating it in my head, going back and forth, and to me it was a bit like falling in love with somebody that you just don't sure what you should do. Should I do what I didn't? And finally I got sick of the debate in my own head, and I really began to think about it. And I thought, well, if the whole religion is attractive to me, the fact that I have issues on some areas, what's the big deal? We know nobody accepts everything completely at first, so why not just go with it?
A journalist and editor who's worked for the most prestigious publications in the country, Charles was used to seeking expert opinions.
I called a Christianity hotline, if you can believe this. Guy said, do two things. He said, get a copy of C.S. Lewis's Mere Christianity, and he said, find an Alpha course. So I found an Alpha course.
The Alpha course would turn out to be just what he needed.
So it was also a place for the first time I was able to discuss religion and feel normal about it. It wasn't like I felt like I had to explain myself or I felt sort of odd about it. These were just people talking about Christian faith. And the people were very honest about their doubts and their concerns, and so I found that a great help.
How did you come to terms with the intellectual hurdles you were facing about Christianity?
Well, I think the quiet answer is you eventually submit to faith. I mean, in a sense, coming to terms with the resurrection and coming to terms with the more sort of fantastical things about Christianity, there is no sort of rational way. Reason will take you so far. And for the things I had difficulty with in terms of teachings, I thought, well, there's 2,000 years of development here of some really the greatest minds that ever lived, so maybe they know something that I don't. And it was just a case of finally saying, in a way, I give, I'll accept all of it, and eventually, through time and through faith, I will come to understand those things better.
And why was weekly church attendance important for you?
Yeah, in fact, sometimes it's more than weekly. I sometimes find myself now going to Mass 2 or 3 times a week. I really like it. I mean, I don't know how else to really explain it. It's a great, wonderful place to be. I mean, you're here and the light's coming through the beautiful stained glass windows, and I'm a believer. So it's important to be there.
Was it hard to break in?
No. You're a little bit awkward at first. I was having trouble sometimes following the service, and I would get very self-conscious. And then I just kind of relaxed and thought, you're going to get this by osmosis, and you do. You just kind of follow along. And, I don't think it was hard to break in. By the time that I really started coming here regularly, I was ready. I had spent too many years kind of wasting time. I didn't really want to waste any more time.
Now faith not only shapes his worldview, it shapes his work as he crafts the Holy Post to become a place of online religious discussion.
And I really become to love it. And the idea is that I want to create a smart community of people who are talking about religion.
His advice for anyone wondering about the Alpha course?
Just go. It's a way of you exploring. It may not even work out, but it's only going to work if you ask yourself hard questions and challenge people. And I think that's how I would go about it.
Across the country, we want to again find a safe and casual place where we can take our questions about God. Come with us to an Alpha group. call Listen Up at 403-474-9292 or email us at listenup@listenuptv.com, and we'll get you connected to an Alpha group in your neighborhood.
You know what, it's really had an impact on my life. I don't know, it's hard to explain, I guess, but I think the connections that I've made and how much I've learned and grown through this experience, and I feel like it's really improved my relationship with God, and it's renewed my faith.
I've been seeking God now for quite some time, and I find it maybe a little bit intimidating for someone like me to go into a Christian church by myself who doesn't know anyone, and I'm a little bit shy myself, and I was also shy to talk on TV right now. But one of my friends who is Christian, a business partner, told me about Alpha, and told me it's a small group, come in, you get to meet people, it's more social, you get to drink, you get to see a sermon on TV, and I thought that, wow, this is maybe a great way to start connecting with people and start learning more about Christ and God.
I enjoyed everything that we talked about. Everything was very clear and straightforward, with room for lots of discussion.
Sheila, where do you expect this kind of questioning to take people? Where should they expect to go with it?
I think they should expect that if they take an Alpha course, that they are going to learn a lot. Not only from the talks they hear, but really from the group that they're involved with. They're going to learn about what is Christianity, who is Jesus? Do I think he was God, a prophet, a historical make-believe figure? What and who is he? And I think people are going to enjoy that process of dialoguing with friends or neighbors or work colleagues.
And where do you hold these things?
We hold them in all sorts of interesting places. Primarily, churches offer the Alpha course, but it's also run in pubs and community centers. People run it in homes. You can find an Alpha course just about anywhere.
And if you could conclude on why people should consider doing it, what would you say?
There is no greater need that we have than to understand, is there a God? It frames everything in life if you believe that. So it's important that we as human beings say, is it true? Is there a God, and who is this God? And once you start on that journey of spiritual growth and understanding, you will never regret it.
When we return, a personal invitation from me in The Wrap.